We are now live. And what you can see here is the first time Richard Jefferson realized that he was not the one who was in control. It was Malika Andrews. And Richard Jefferson didn't like the way this was going, figuring that she was going to tell Richard Jefferson how things was going to go on his show. Well, on the show when he actually played the game, so he could tell you about breaking the code. You have three players up here and two people that's never played basketball a day in their life. And they're going to tell all three of the players were in agreement. Matt Barnes was in agreement with Richard Jefferson, right along with the teddy bear. What's his name? Perk. Now, here's the scenario, because we're going to get down and dirty today so you can understand what this is really all about. Now, if you own the Karceno for Life Patreon, a lot of this you already know because we've already exposed this. And then people saw it happen live and like, damn, Ceno, you told us on the Patreon what was going to happen. I told y'all Richard Jefferson wasn't happy because Malika Andrews had secretly got a promotion. It just became public about a week ago or 2 weeks ago that she's going to be taking Greenie's spot, right? We told you already she got that promotion about a month ago on the Patreon. So all the Patreons know what we're talking about, basically, with the politics that's going on behind the scenes. There's no way, shape, or form Malika Andrews should be making more than Richard Jefferson. That, and under no circumstances, in journalism or anything else, Richard Jefferson actually does a good job when he's up there. Now, with that being said, you got this guy up here, Woj. He knows nothing about the subject. Nothing whatsoever. To talk about the subject at mind, which was the bro code. And Steve Kerr said Dylan Brooks broke the bro code with Peyton Jr., which brought all this up. Now, you as an analyst who had never played the game, you don't know anything about the bro code. How are you going to try to alpha a man who played the game, who could tell you about the bro code? There's three men up here. And you're going to try to tell them what is what. So right away, you were going to have problems. You were going to have problems with Richard Jefferson. You were going to have problems with everybody around. But as we do here, we go to the beginning. You have to know why she's this way. You got to know why she's wearing her hair braided. See, most of y'all don't even remember or don't know because you've never been told to y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button up too. Oh, know the ledge, we're going to go to all that. We're going to get to all that. You see, Malika Andrews' father was a personal trainer. And the mother, she was an artist. She used to paint, do everything else. And they were known in the Bay Area where they lived. That's where they grew up, in the Bay. Near Oakland, but the suburbs near San Fran. They're Bay children. The mother's Jewish, the daddy blacker than my doggone tires. So all of a sudden, this personal trainer falls in love with this artist. And they have two children, right? Malika is the oldest. Now, this is going to explain a lot. So I want you to understand this to see how we got the Malika Andrews we got today. What you're looking at right now, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you is Amazon.com. And on there is, I'm going to blow it up for you can see it. It says Coffee with Cream by Karen E. Andrews. Who is Karen E. Andrews? Karen E. Andrews is the mother of Malika Andrews. And this is her book she wrote. And what is the book about? It's about Malika Andrews. It says, being a mixed race child and not looking like your mom can be tough. This children's book emphasizes how a child can look different from their parent and still match in many important ways. I was picking up my oldest daughter from preschool. I read a list posted in the classroom that asks, what do you think is beautiful? And Malika's answer was, I think my mom is beautiful. Later, I thanked her for the compliment. She asked if our skin color would match when she grows up. When she realized that it would never match, she was devastated. This story tells of how I responded to her reaction, transforming a difficult moment into one of beauty. So this is telling you already Malika Andrews had a problem with her skin color not being white like her mother. Since she was a child. Hit the like button, good people. We getting into it now. This gonna explain it all. This is gonna explain it all. That book came out in 2008. So as a little girl, she was hell-bent on being like her mom. She thought her mom was beautiful and didn't like that her skin color wasn't gonna be what she considered beauty was white. So her mom made a self-help book to try to help the children deal with this, action that's going on. And shouts out to her mom for doing that. But there were bigger issues that none of y'all ever knew that hit the horizon. See, Malika had a sister now. She's now a big sister. And now she has not only herself, she has Kendra. Oh, Kendra is a blessing. And now that Kendra's here, it's a whole new world for her. Malika was playing soccer because she was on the soccer team. That was her thing. I'm going to play soccer. They put her in sports to try to keep her active and so she could communicate with people so that she could have a normal life. They put her in this environment. Now, oh, the book didn't work. Oh, we're gonna get to that. Okay? Because a lot of people thought I lied when I brought it up before. But we're gonna get to that. Now, here's what I want y'all to look at here. You see, that's her sister right there. You've seen her now because she's on ESPN. But we're going to get to the gist of all of these things. What is this they're asking me for? Screw that. Screwball. I didn't answer that. Is Malika Andrews kicking me out? Probably. But as you can see, you see the sister Kendra right there? When they're little, I think they're blocking me from seeing it. Okay, fine. Block it then. I'll blow it up here. Boom. There you go. Boom. There it is. This is the picture they trying to hide from me. See? They had the little sister Kendra. And they put Malika in the sports. And Malika was very mean to her baby sister. She wanted all the attention. And Kendra was lighter than her. She didn't like that. She wanted to be lighter, like her mom. And the youngest daughter is lighter than her. So Malika Andrews had a lot of problems with this scenario. Oh yeah, they watching. They don't want you to see it, but I'm gonna make you see it. Boom! There you go. Now you can see it. Now, as you can see, she had quite a bit of a problem with this. What's up, T? Now, she was on the soccer team as a youth, and she didn't like that her sister was lighter than her. She wanted to be light like her mama. So Malika, what's up? What's up, Jose? Yeah, if you set up another live later on, just let me know ahead of time. I gotta know a couple days in advance so I can make time for it. Because yesterday I was just all over the place. How am I freestyling when I'm showing you the actual proof itself? But there you go. Thank you, Van Lee. Goodbye. So, yes, it's another self hate situation. So, she was very mean and used to fight her sister and very violently vicious attacks on her sister. Malika Andrews dropped out of the 8th grade because she kept throwing fits. She stopped doing her work in school. She kept throwing fits and cursing at her mom and throwing stuff, breaking it. Her and her dad, they didn't know what to do with her. They didn't know what to do with Malika Andrews. She dropped out of school. She was kicked out of school at 8th grade. These are facts. She went to Head Royce School. in Oakland. She was kicked out talking about stress. You in 8th grade. What you stressed about? She was stressed because she started to get an eating disorder because she felt she was getting fat. And she wanted to be skinny like her mama and all those other white girls. So she was stressed. She wasn't looking like the white girls, no matter how she wore her hair, no matter what she did, she wasn't being accepted. So it led to frustration. She wasn't doing her work. She had an eating disorder because they were making fun of her for being fat. And she just like, I'm so different. Why am I different? So she started having these freakouts. And she hated her sister. And they didn't know what to do to get her help. So they went to this damn hypnotist and this crazy doctor. And they sent her away. After living with Oakland, Kendra loved her. Kendra thought like my big sister. She hated her. They used to fight all the time. Kendra even brought it up on the show. I got a scar because she cut me. I still got a scar to this day because of Malika. Malika was violent. Violent. Yeah, she was 13, 14. She was out of control. So what did they do? The guy she liked, some boy she liked in 8th grade, didn't like her. And she liked the boy, but they looked at her as the kind of chunky kid. And she wasn't fat at all, but she wasn't super skinny like the other white girls. So she was rejected. So now she's going through her, stress and I'm sick. And now she's got anorexia and all of these things, eating disorders. So the family sent her to Utah to a mental hospital. She was in a crazy house. People got mad when I said a crazy house. I'm like, what do y'all want to call it? They put her in a crazy house in Utah. They call it a therapeutic boarding school. That place is a place for people with mental issues. She graduated from there. And she graduated at 17 after getting kicked out in the 8th grade. She never had an 8th grade graduation because she was kicked out of school. She graduated in this therapeutic boarding school where they brainwash you, keep you on drugs, doped up over in Utah, and give you this mental clarity. All of a sudden, she was like a whole new person when she came back. Then she started working. She went to the University of Portland after that at 17. But she didn't know what she wanted to do with her life. So she started studying communication. She made friends with people at the school newspaper. And after she made friends at the school newspaper, the only available spot on the paper was in sports. That was the only thing that was there. She never wanted to write about sports. Sports was the only thing they had available that she could write about. So let me tell y'all right now, this is what I'm saying. This wasn't a dream of hers. This wasn't a goal of hers. This was not her dream. Hit the like button, good people. I know y'all just got here. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. The Cash App is Karceno. You're for the first time is getting the truth. She go in here and bring up everybody else's past and they dirt. So now we gonna bring up the dirt on her. If you was on the Patreon, you know this already, but now you're gonna get it here on the YouTube in full context. Because it needs to be said. We're not trying to destroy this woman. We're going to do the same thing this woman has been doing to professional athletes since she's been here. Now we're bringing up your past. Now, normally, if this was anyone else of color, would they have the opportunity to have this job? I've seen people be turned down for jobs because of what their family members did. If their family members was different or committed a crime, they were looked at differently. So let that sink in. Now imagine somebody saying that. Yeah, so that wasn't her goal. She was working at her, what was that? Her grandfather, he had a civil rights farm. You know, her Jewish grandfather, who was a lawyer, and he had a law firm. He had Malika working there. And this was when she first got out before she went to the University of Portland. So if anybody ever remember tells the story, they're gonna omit the part that before she went to college, she didn't know what to do. So she started working with her grandfather. They didn't take her back to the house right away. Now, the younger sister spent the more time in the house with the parents. You know, Kendra, because Malika was so violent towards her at that time, they had to separate them. Now, Malika Andrews goes over to her to Portland and she's covering the sports department because that's the only thing that was there. Kendra was already writing because now she gets to write about the favorite athletes she liked. And she was doing it before her sister. Malika started writing stories that forced the school to start adding like padding around the soccer fields and for safety. And she used to play the game and it wasn't safe. So she started writing about that. And a person who never wanted to identify as black, period, who would put down white in the box, she would check white. It would say white, black, Hispanic, of others. She would put white. She became a sports editor and then editor in chief of the college paper in Portland. And they gave her a National Association of Black Journalists scholarship. Black journalist scholarship. So she's taking scholarships from black people when she doesn't identify as black. Hmm. Talk about that, Malika. You won the National Association of Black Journalists Scholarship, which led you to learn from, guess who? Mark Spears from ESPN. And you train with the Sports Journalists Institute, which promotes the development of all these young journalists to diversify the newsrooms. This is a project they have to try to diversify the newsrooms. And they wanted to put the people in there so they could get the bright picks. You won that, even though you never classified yourself as black. So you were a diversity hire. Now is it all making sense, people? Please tell me it's making sense now. I hope it's making sense. Now you're getting to see how she became Malika Andrews that we know of today. They went in there looking for a diversity hire. They put these projects together to try to diversify the newsrooms so we can give more people of color opportunities. But they had to find the right ones. So they moved her into the black category, even though she identified herself not as mixed, not as mixed. She checked the box of white. So after training with Mark Spears, Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj, right? He was on Portland's campus because he was doing a podcast with Terry Porter, right? And he was the new head coach over there at Portland University. So he was there to interview the former Trailblazer, right? And Woj had picked up the Beacon, which read a whole feature on Terry Porter coming over to the coach, the team, and while he's reading it, he's like, "Wow, this is a good piece." And Malika was the one that wrote it. This is the story they tell. So after she graduated from Portland University, she introduced herself to Woj at the Summer League game, and to her surprise, he already knew who she was. She was becoming a sensation. The reason that he knew who you were, because Mark Spears, that works at ESPN, had told people, okay, well, we're going to keep an eye out for you. There wasn't an opening at ESPN at the time. So Mark Stein couldn't get you in there, but he wanted to get Malika Andrews in there. Now, there was no openings at a major network for Malika Andrews, even though they were trying to do this project of diversity to get people more in the newsroom. This didn't mean just ESPN. So she hopped, skipped, and jumped. She went to Denver, right? She got a post internship at the New York Times, the fellowship to guess who? The Chicago Tribune. You see, most of the writers come from my city. People don't realize that. They worked here, they come here, and there's two places that's really known for writers. That is Boston If you're going to get into journalism, Boston University is one of the top for media, especially sports media, and Northwestern. If you go to Northwestern here in Chicago, or if you go to Boston, most of the sports writers come from there, or they go there for sports media training, how to ask questions, whatever. So normally you will get working at a newspaper and you'll be seen. Now, after hop skipping from that internship she had with the New York Times, she went to the Tribune and started working with Christina Douglas, and she worked with the ESPN division with the NBA. So they got her to cover the Bulls and the Bucks. Then after that, they moved her to New York to cover the Knicks and the Nets. So ESPN started to pay attention to her and put her as a daily on-site reporter, uh, and brought her up during the pandemic because the pandemic hit, and they were like, all this stuff happened with George Floyd, and all of the thing became Black Lives Matter. It was a big movement, and they needed some people of color immediately in action. So they looked at Maria Taylor, who was in a contract dispute with them. They didn't want to pay her. She was in for renegotiation, and she wasn't accepting any deal that they were waiving. So they knew they weren't going to pay her. They had to get somebody else up there. So while they had Maria Taylor, it was like, let's showcase her, and while we got her, we're not going to sign her to the deal anyway. So let's just put her out there because they've already had an issue that was getting ready to erupt, that was getting going through the developmental hell. We're getting to the Rachel Nichols situation, but we're not arrived yet. So during the bubble, they said, well, bring this girl up, Malika Andrews. She's easy on the eyes. We put her on the screen. She's got the cute young thing girl, so let's get her trained to be on scene on television. She goes straight from sports writing, where she's barely seen at all, with this wild bushy hair. And they said, we're gonna have to get her a stylist, get someone to style her up, start giving her these braids, like African like braids. Black people like their hair braided. We got to get someone in there that could braid her hair and make it look black and make it look urban. And they worked with her. So now she's gonna be what she fought against her entire life. Didn't want to be. They see, this is the problem I have with some mixed people. They they sit there and they pick and choose when they want to be black. It's like, okay, you want to use air, you hate being black to the point that you only identify it when you can use it for your advantage. Then you want to turn it off like a switch. But then compare yourself to black people who got to be black every day for the rest of their lives. And it's like, you can't do that. Sorry. Oh, she ain't fine at all, dog. Y'all can have Malika Andrews. That ain't fine at all. Well, the thing is, they identify them as black. Anybody mixed, they never identify them as white. They say, well, y'all black. You're mixed, you're black. That's not how you just gonna just say that. They're mixed. They have their own thing. They're mulattoes. They whatever they are a combination of more than one race. She's what you would call a cute girl. Like, yeah, she's kind of cute. but not even to me. She's what the young kids say now. Man, she's mid, bro. She's mid. I'm gonna take a word out there, book. She's mid. Well, yeah, they watched her. She was at the hmm yeah, her sister got a job working at the Atlantic, and she was working for the Nuggets. So she was coming up watching the bubble, and she was working and covering the Nuggets. And once Malika Andrews started to blow up, they started seeing Kendra, and they was like, Kendra is cuter than her. So they started to promote the Andrews sisters, and then ESPN's like, we need more diversity. She's got a sister, you know, she's mixed. That's just black. Anyway, just grab the mixed person, bring them up. Well, Malika's more connected with her mom. Kendra is a daddy's girl. She's more connected to her father. So Malika was closer to her mom. She often argued with her father, and she just hated the fact that her father was dark. And she wanted to be more like her mom. And she went to school with all these white girls, and she was different from them. And that you know, psychologically messed her brain up. And as a young girl, the mom had to write a book that's like teaching her how to deal with that. Like, you can be beautiful as your own self, but she fought with her parents a lot, and now they have a great relationship, but they boosted her up once Rachel Nichols' tape got exposed. They sat on the tape for a whole year, and then in 2021, the tape leaked and got to the newspaper. So now Rachel Nichols, who said all these things about how Maria Taylor was being promoted only because of, she had 10 years of experience, and Malika Andrews had about what, three, two, and they were moving her up the ladder. So Rachel couldn't be covered by the NBA, especially with the climate that was going on, and she was promised to do the NBA finals. But she agreed to let Maria Taylor and Malika Andrews come during the bubble, and she do the sideline reporting. She took the seat back. She played the good soldier role. So that's why she got paid. She got a big fat check to sit down. So that is why Rachel Nichols, who was let go by ESPN, had a gripe, and a legal gripe, because she had everything in writing. That said, in her contract, she was supposed to cover the NBA Finals, but ESPN wanted to fix their image because they had not been fair when it came to African American journalism and the way the climate was going. They didn't want to go against that George Floyd climate and all these things that was happening with police attacks on African American men, and when their sport is predominantly African American, and they had to shut down because of the COVID virus, they couldn't afford to upset black folks. And the players decide, hey, we're not playing. So the NBA and ESPN had to make some quick changes. So Malika Andrews was promoted very highly. That her and Maria Taylor became the first black females or first females ever to host an NBA Finals with the Bucks and the Suns, and everybody was so excited, and they still didn't sign Maria Taylor back because she wasn't going to take that low ball deal. She already had an offer, and they tried to slander her name before she left. And then that's when the tape mysteriously leaked out, which made ESPN look bad and made Rachel Nichols look awful. And it promoted Malika Andrews. So that's how she got to the chair, people. With no experience, no real background. She only got into sports because it was the only thing open she can get into. Because, Portland, they didn't have anything but Dame Lillard at the time. So she could write at college, and that was it. But they had nothing. So the ESPN, they start bringing up Kendra, who started writing for Golden State. Then she wrote something crazy, and then that was that. Now, what she has done since she's been working here and since she showed up has been cringeworthy, to say the least. I agree, Air Pegasus. That's because she actually plays the sport. That's why she's on there. She's on there to try to make it look like, okay, yeah, we got it. This is a real black show. We're diverse. Gotta have some darkness up there. Yes, her black father was never cheated on the mom, nothing. He was always in her life. Oh, she's constantly upset that her sister is looked at as the cuter one, and people like her because the sister's lighter than her. Malika still harbors this, you know, sibling rivalry with her sister. She wants to be light like her sister, but she's not. And on the show, it works for her. They were like, look, this works for you. We're going to put these earrings in your ear. We're going to make you look urban. We're going to put the dark lipstick. We're going to keep your hair braided. We're going to make your hair look back, make it look like, you stepping up and you celebrating black excellence. So she's playing the role that she doesn't like, while her sister could just be herself. And Malika, who's watched her sister get basically a handout because of Malika's success on television. They promoted her sister along faster and brought her up. She wasn't okay with that. Even though her sister was doing sports and journalism before Malika Andrews. Now they're supposed to be sisters, staying together, helping each other out, right? But what does she do? Does she act like a sister? Does she act like a sister to her own sister? No, she doesn't. She just has inner hate inside of her. They try to hide the school that she went to in Utah. They try not to name it because they know it's a. People say, "Well, that's a nut house. You graduated from basically a crazy house. You dropped out of eighth grade. You went to a crazy house. Just admit it." So let's see how much she loves her sister.
Draymond understands that he has to play with a certain level of mindfulness throughout the rest of the playoffs, right? He can't pick up much more flagrant points or else it could result in a suspension. But Malika, we all know that Draymond wears his reputation like a badge of honor. And he said, I will not take any bite out of the way that I play because then we're going to go home early and any of those flagrant points, they're not going to matter anymore. Well, they're going to need Draymond Green for this series and beyond. Kendra, thank you so much. Is that my watch? Yeah, that's my watch. That is my watch. Wow. How would I have taken your watch?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna stay out of this.
Thanks for watching.
Wow.
On YouTube. For live streaming sports.
Can you believe that?
Subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Can you believe that? Live on the air, she's gonna try to bust her sister out for wearing her watch. Like you stole my watch. Live on the air. That's how much love she got for her sister. You see how she look at it content that she's got to sit there and listen to her sister give her a report on the Golden State Warriors. Did you see the excitement she had? She didn't look excited at all. All she could do was bring up the watch. That's all she thought about. She didn't care nothing about what she was saying. Is that my watch? And she's like, wow, like you would bring that up on the air. That was her agenda all along, was to embarrass her own sister. That was her goal. I told you. All of these scenes are showing you a variation of different characteristics that the world don't get to see. Oh my gosh, it's so dumb. No, because that's when that's how that's why Malika did what she did. You see what I'm saying? That's why she moved in the way that she moved. Malika Andrews always knew the way she was going to succeed is to do the agenda and the job that ESPN want to do. See, ESPN, they play like they're woke. This is what you call fake woke. They're doing it because this is the narrative that everybody's in now, this woke movement. But these are conservatives who are doing letting the left people come on there and taking the left agenda and going the turn they want. They can't stand it, but they have to go this narrative. They don't want it this way, but they have to go this way. So behind the scenes, they really don't care about none of this stuff that's going on. But there was a reason they let Malika Andrews talk about the death of that player that played in Orlando. No other sports writer would touch it, but they'll let Malika do it. They say, well, Malika, you get the hard facts. She goes this. She didn't mind. She don't care about throwing a black athlete under the bus. She doesn't care. She doesn't like herself. She doesn't like how dark her skin is. So now she's using it to get success and millions of dollars now. But she identifies herself as white. I wonder if she still feels that way today. Well, I guess her actions show where she dictates and where she classifies herself. So where's that guy at? Does he still think we're just lying on Malika Andrews? Everything we've told you has been 100% factual. This is a full background story on this woman. Now, Stephen A. Smith went out and defended Malika Andrews after he stood up for her on the show, or stood up to her, rather.
He is like a sexist man being a panel member on The View. It's overwhelming. A very brief check of her history will confirm why Malika Andrews is one of the most hated NBA analysts.
Right. She quickly became hated. Players in the league are pointing out that I don't want to interview with Malika Andrews. This is why Taylor Rooks is getting more opportunities, but Taylor Rooks is not one that's linked with ESPN. She has her own contracts, and she normally deals with mostly football than basketball. But the basketball players and everyone else, they normally gravitate more to Taylor Rooks. They don't look at Malika Andrews like that. Plus, Taylor Rooks is, she's drop dead gorgeous. Her dad was a, running back for the University of Illinois. She went there for U of I at Champaign. She's a sorority girl. And boy, she is, incredible. Then she comes out and attacks Joe Mazzulla. When M.A. Udoka's situation went on, she wanted to advocate this fight for women. We have to stand up for women. And because it was a white girl and a black man, that triggered everything to go against M.A. Udoka. And when the Brooklyn Nets was talking about hiring him back, or there might be a chance they could hire him, for another position. She was adamantly against it and keep bringing up this case like there was criminal charges against him, and there wasn't. But according to Malika Andrews and the way she was talking, she was making it seem like there were criminal charges. And the assistant coach, Joe Mazzulla, who has been in the NBA for years as an assistant, the NBA has one of the most strictest vetting processes in the history of all sports. He has been approved. She goes to something that happened in his sophomore year when he was playing as a kid, basically in a bar when he was 19 years old. She brings up an incident of a domestic dispute that happened that was settled by the university. Like, it had no bearings on him becoming the Celtics head coach. Had no bearings. That case was old and done. He had been a college head coach. He had been in the NBA for years. So what in the world, like, why would you need to bring that up? What context is that going to mean in this situation?
ESPN, Andrews asked him about being teammates with Steph. To the fans, everything was great about the interview, except the video that the channel decided to air while having Paul on a channel. The video showed Curry breaking Paul's ankles and making him fall to the ground. Perhaps.
Yep. That was it. Chris Paul didn't like Malika Andrews from that point on. And we remember during the NBA Finals when he gave her that cold thing and we took up for Malika Andrews. Remember that? Remember that? And then while interviewing Chris Paul after he got the trade news, they're showing highlights of Steph Curry embarrassing Chris Paul. Chris Paul wasn't happy about this. He felt very disrespected that ESPN would put that on NBA Today to show that highlight of Steph Curry making him slip and fall and all that. He was quite embarrassed about that. There's never been Joe Mazzulla. That's why she has not been reprimanded. She's not been reprimanded. She has not been suspended. She hasn't been warned. She hasn't done anything. They keep giving her more money. So this tells you the network is in line with everything she's doing. She's doing their job. They're like, great. We want you to put that out there. Make them look bad. Make the black athlete look bad at all costs. They can't seem doing it. Every other sports network who talked about Joe Mazzulla never mentioned anything about any domestic situation that he had. They mentioned his years of coaching experience in college, in the pros, and how capable is of him doing this job. That's what they brought up. Nobody brought up anything about any violence. Nobody brought up any details about any fighting or any type of anything. Right? Giannis don't hate her. He just felt that was a stupid question she asked. But these are the questions that she knows ESPN won. See, the biggest problem with everybody saying we need to boycott Malika Andrews. No, you need to boycott ESPN. Every sports person's nightmare. They're the ones who are responsible. They're the reason she does this, because it's what they want. She go and look and finds the most negative thing to talk about and bring up something like that man died and Orlando was just the icing on the cake for me. So when it got to the Brendan Miller situation, why wouldn't you bring that up in the pregame? If you wanted to do anything, because Stephen A tried to make an excuse for her, saying she's doing her job. It's her job to inform. Where is that part of her job? The man was never charged. He was never looked at as a suspect. He was looked at as a witness. He was to give witness testimony on what he knew because the guy was his teammate. And the guy said, yo, bring my bag. I got a gun under there. Yeah, my gun is in my bag. Just bring. He don't know what's going on. The guy didn't give him any details of what was going on. He gave the guy his bag that he wanted. That was the extent of everything he did. He was never charged. The police wasn't looking at him as a person of interest. The prosecution didn't come after him for anything because he never did anything. So why would you want to ruin this man's reputation? Don't you see the NBA who vets everybody to the letter? You think they haven't vetted that situation frontwards and backwards? You didn't think they talked to the investigator who investigated the crimes to see how involved this player was? You didn't think that the coaches and people saying this kid here is A on the money? Why do you think he went second in the draft? They would have not allowed that for any player in that situation. It doesn't make sense. And so you're informing this to people to make it look like he was involved in a crime. The way you said it made it look like he was involved in a crime and got away with something. So Stephen A felt bad because it was being turned on him when she was, hey, we're not going to blame the woman, Stephen A. Why not? Emma Udoka wasn't married. She was. He was in a relationship. And on the Patreon, we finna get real raw into that. Oh, this has been an explosive month on the Patreon. I knew I blew y'all mind with the Magoo. Rest in peace, Magoo. But I know I blew all y'all minds on the Patreon about that. Y'all want to know what was going on with the breakup and what happened with the crew and all of that. And boy, I blew everybody's mind. I know I did. I'm reading the comment section. I knew people's minds is going to be blown. But that's why you got the Patreon. So join the Karceno for Life Patreon if you want to know some more about that. Yeah, but see, just like that, Twizzo, what you said about pain. It was false. She brought up a false allegation, never stated that the allegations was false. She never stated anything. That was reckless journalism. People not even paying attention to the fact she screwed up the draft. You're saying somebody goes to Michigan that goes to Michigan State. There is a big difference between Michigan and Michigan State. So instead of saving up to try to embarrass an African American's career, you focus on doing your job. Luis Marin, man, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Good to see you back, bro. Yeah, my Cash App is still Karceno. The Super Chat still work. He said, I quit watching ESPN shows exclusively solely because of Malika Andrews, Kendrick Perkins, and Stephen A. Smith. I mean, pretty much it's trash. It's been trash for years. That's the thing. They might have some bright spots with a couple of shows, but don't nobody talk about like Keyshawn's show. That was pretty good with him and Max. I like that show. And Jay Will. I mean, JJ Redick has some good shows. But overall, she's doing this because this is what the network wants. They can't let their white counterparts say this stuff. So they need somebody with our color, our skin tone, who they think relates to us and identifies as black to say these things about us. No, and she's on their side the whole damn time. She ain't with us. She with them. And they don't look at her as part of them anyway. They're just using her. They're using her skin to say all this stuff that they want to say. Right. I only watch ESPN for games. That's it. Sports. The actual sports. The shows, they can go to hell. Because people feel entitled. You know, when people like have the attitude sort of like what they have, they feel entitled. Like something should be theirs. They're obligated to have this. This is supposed to be mine. You know, so already she's taking people's jobs. She's got Greenie's job already. Where does that make sense? Where does it make sense that Malika Andrews should have that job? This man has over 30 plus years in the game. And you're going to replace her with basically a social media personality. You know, like somebody with zero experience who was god awful in the NBA finals, but she's their puppet. Do, do, do. She's your puppet. And that's what they want. Their puppet who really hates black people, period, to be on the air giving you this narrative. That's what they love. Right there. That puppet. That big head puppet. Who's that dummy now? She's now got Greenie's job. So she's going to be covering games, talking about, well, he did have a drug conviction that was overturned in 2008 when he was in high school, where drug paraphernalia was found in a friend's car. All of that's coming. Well, he does have a child on the way with another woman, even though he's married. I don't know about that situation, but we must have that in context, right along with his record-breaking triple-double. It's gonna be what a performance! Great win. What do you think about the win? Well, I think about his performance that he had tonight, and it was tremendous. He had 48 points. He was so intense and so locked in. And the thing, 20 years ago, where he allegedly punched a couple of guys when he was a bully in high school, and that he grew out of that to become the man he was tonight to win in game 2. She's gonna find a way to ruin people's lives and find dirt. That's what she is. She's like a scumbag journalist. She's the gum under your shoe journalist. That's what she's become. She probably can write a great article, but this is what's getting her notoriety, and she's being tortured over it. As people like Stephen A. Smith want to come to her aid. Then, I don't blame her for the John Morant questions during the draft, because they were going to address that there. That questions was Adam Silver was going to do that, but because it's Malika Andrews and the way she's been interviewing people, they knew. They just like, we knew she was going to bring up John Morant. Well, of course, this was already arranged. That, believe me, the commissioner of the NBA is not going to get caught off guard being interviewed by the NBA. They knew this was the first time he was going to speak on it. So the decision was going to be made. Well, Malika Andrews is there to, you've seen these reporters over the years, like Stephen A. Smith, and they come out and they try to attack and demean characters, but she's the worst type of person that they could see, because she doesn't have any morals. She doesn't have like what they would call journalistic integrity, and they just want to make it no matter what, and they really don't care what they do or how they do it. Have you noticed Malika Andrews has never responded to any of the backlash that came her way? The Jalen Rose incident, like, she could have easily said Jalen Rose wasn't Jalen Rose. He didn't do anything. She wanted the attention because it kept her name in the highlights. And Jalen Rose came out and said something, even though they didn't want him to say anything. It was Richard Jefferson from behind. I saw it because Richard Jefferson does it all the time to her, because they're not going to Me Too Richard Jefferson, because they allow that on the show. Playfulness, and they grab each other, they do stupid stuff, hit each other with pies, they do all kind of stuff. Malika Andrews, she pokes Richard Jefferson, they poke each other. So these two have playfulness, and a lot of people are like, oh, they're messing around, they're dating. It's like, no, she's not. I tell anybody, she ain't gonna date another mixed guy, nothing. She's dating only white guys. And she's engaged to Dave McMenamin, who works for Clutch Sports and is a journalist for the ESPN as well. No problem. Props to them. Her personal life is her personal life. I don't care. But you've seen Dave McMenamin on the show, who's terrible on television, but you've seen him on the television show and program a lot. Now, if you look at Malika, what she's going to do, she's trying to poke under the arms of Richard Jefferson. Now, What that show you is what? They do this all the time on the show. Goofiness, silliness. So when the internet saw it, and when she said to them, like, get your finger out of my armpit, they assumed right away that Malika Andrews was, right, that she was trying to Me Too him, and brothers was coming to his defense. hmm Well, when she was at the crazy house, um, Malika Andrews was hanging out with some friends, right? This when she was a teenager. She was in Utah, and she was hanging out with a girl named Carly. And there was a guy that was dating Carly, and her and Malika was best friends, right? So the girl he was dating and Malika, they wanted to go get drunk one night, and they wanted to go get drunk, but not off what you guys would think. They weren't getting drunk off liquor. They were drinking hand sanitizer. Malika Andrews was drinking hand sanitizer while in the nut house. Her and her friends and the friend boyfriend was allegedly drinking hand sanitizer. Yep. Clearly was honeypotted. He said that's what alcoholics drink when they cut off in rehab or something. Well, that's what happened. They got, he was like, man, Malika Andrews honeypotted them and said that Malika Andrews told on him after encouraging him to engage with her physically at a movie theater. They all three of them went to the movies, and she honeypotted him, made out with the dude, and then went and told on him after she got up with him. Of course, he was white. Then she, she was drunk off hand sanitizer, and that was just how she rolled. They couldn't get alcohol, and that was that. Oh, who was in the crazy house with her? This the guy right there. That's the guy she was making out with in the movie theater. Going there with him, his girlfriend, and that was her best friend, Carly, in the crazy house. Then she came up with the idea, let's get drunk. And they had hand sanitizer. And Malika Andrews was drinking hand sanitizer. So Malika, you need to go and tell your story. Since you want to tell these behind the scenes stories on everybody else, why don't you tell these behind the scenes stories on you? Drinking hand sanitizer. Then go honeypot and snitch on this man saying this guy did all that when you attacked him in the movie theater and made out with him. Tell your truth to the world. But you don't want to go there because it's so dark. It's so dark, ain't it? Well, of course she's a puppet. No. Well, I hope it get a lot of attention, this video. I hope people see the video and say, all right, let's go ahead and see what's actually going on. Yeah, well, I want her to say I lied about something. Please bring it up. Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Okay.
Who takes longer to get ready?
Really? Yes. 100%. That's why I not take that.
Who cries while watching movies and TV?
We both do. And then when we cry, she cries with me, cry harder, and I cry.
Who is more likely to survive on a deserted island? Who got into more trouble?
Cue deserve that. Yeah, that's what I got set to the same time.
Who is better at basketball?
Oh, the bar is so low.
Who was the favorite? Thank you so much.
See? That tell you. That tell you everything you need to know. That tell you everything you need to know. Right there.
All right, you guys.
What's happening?
Okay. Exactly. You think the whole thing been coming down, right? Well, now we finna kick it into overdrive because I already told you this backstory, but now I'm gonna let you hear it from the man himself. Eli, take it away, baby boy.
Today I'm about to be diving over here a little bit to tell you guys a little bit of a backdrop story that you guys may not know and how it involves me and an NBA commentator by the name of Malika Andrews. But before I get into it, make sure that you guys go ahead and click thumbs up and subscribe below. So I want to tell you guys this because a lot of people don't know. Now, originally there was an issue with Malika Andrews and Jalen Rose, and she accused Jalen Rose of me tooing her. But I'll give you guys the actuality, the real story behind Malika Andrews, because I actually went to high school with her. Okay, she was actually sent to the same boarding school that I was in Utah, and it was called Mountain Springs Preparatory Academy, and that was in Cedar City, Utah. Malika Andrews was sent there because she had promiscuous issues. Like, I'm talking like this girl was extremely choosy. She was one of those girls that would throw it at you if she had the opportunity. Now, you couldn't because you were in boarding school, but the reality is that you need to understand is this. This girl is full of cap. The only reason that she's even in the position that she's in, the NBA commentate, is because her dad plugged her in, because her dad had in with the Warriors for a long time. So he was able to basically plug his daughter in a profession that she really has no business being in. She doesn't know enough about sports. She wasn't athletic. She never played sports. Even when we were in the gym playing basketball and stuff, she was too busy trying to be cute. She wasn't even paying attention to what we were doing. So it's all cap. It's all hype. And that's the true story. Say I'm lying. I better go run the background on that girl.
Now, I done told you. I done told y'all, boy, she getting exposed today. She getting exposed today. Now, he told another story as the reason why she was there and she was having all these things. She was throwing that cat everywhere. She was promiscuous. So at 14, boy, she was just giving it up. They had to get rid of her. She was sleeping with anybody, anything, just getting wild. Throwing that cat anywhere she could. She was Catwoman, boy. Yeah, she out here Catwoman it. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link if y'all want to get in. Drinking doggone hand sanitizer. She Throwing that cat anywhere, baby. See, it's a bunch of nuts in the nut house. He said she was promiscuous. Of course, she was promiscuous. and that just means she was a hoe. Yeah, dog. That just means
Yeah. Hilarious. Hilarious. He called her promiscuous. He didn't even call her a hoe.
right.
That's hilarious.
He was
The whole
like,
breakdown.
right. She was just throwing that everywhere, man. And you can't really do that because it's a boys' school.
Yeah. Couldn't stop her hand sanitizer drinking ass. She just giving
Right.
it up.
If I see her, I'm gonna give her a bottle of hand. I'll be like, "Here's some Pharrell for you. Get down, baby." Get it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
200
know she was
rounds
getting
of Pharrell
down.
on me.
Oh yeah. You already know. Oh, you know she was getting crazy in the pandemic. You already know. She had bottles and bottles of that shit.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
Lord.
She was like, "Oh, this going back to my high school days." Woo! Yeah. Giving it up
Oh,
to anybody she could. She's gonna be pushing
so
the black guys away. Like, get away from me.
yeah, she just
Hey.
her hate, like the way you broke it down, make more sense of why she attacks the brothers more than she would attack any kind of athlete that get into trouble that played basketball, because obviously she just covered the NBA, but she don't attack nobody else besides the brothers. Like, she gonna make sure she gonna do her little digging. I think what she did to Adrian Payne was just evil. This man died and you going to bring up that? Like, why? What do you what and then for the ESPN not to really give off, send a notice to apologize or something, for that to even be brought up? Like, it just show you that how careless and how they really don't give a fuck. Like, if that was a white guy, I'm quite sure it would have been an apology sent out. But because this is a brother, oh no, nothing. It just got, it just was basic. It was regular, and they didn't care. I can tell they didn't care for her to even explain herself or bringing that up.
Yeah, that, to me, that was crazy, because then, it's reckless journalism now. But that's, like I'm saying, she keeps getting promoted because she's saying the things that they want her to say. Believe me, if this was a white guy and she did the same thing to him, oh, they're gonna have a talk with Malika Andrews.
You already know. You already know if that was a white guy, a white player that had just died. Oh no, she wouldn't mention nothing in that, from especially something like that. Just an allegation, like, she wouldn't have brought that up. She wouldn't dig her little digging of trying to find out something. Like, to me, for her to even have found that out, just show you like she was looking for something to say about Adrian Payne. Like, the man just died. He got killed.
Right. And
that alone.
Right. It wasn't nothing that was his fault. And then the charges was false. So that's when I was livid, when I saw that.
Yeah, that was sad. And I don't know when those allegations came out, but it had to been like, way after he stopped playing basketball for the NBA, because I know he went overseas and was playing ball, but that just was uncalled for. It just, like you said, it just like her way of just digging up dirt on these brothers. It just shows you, like, she wanted to make her mark on ESPN. She moving up the ranks, and for her now to be hosting what is NBA countdown now, like, she about to be running things, and it's no telling what else she's going to try to uncover on whatever brother that she decide to to speak on and report on his I guess allegation of whatever crime he's been accused of. Like, I know she can't wait. She's sitting on a lot of stuff, I bet.
Yeah, because you got to understand that Malika Andrews has a dark past, and they got all the details on it. So they know everything about this woman. They know where she come from. They vet these people, so they know who gonna do what and play ball, and she ain't gonna care. She gonna keep doing the agenda work that they want.
Yeah, oh yeah, she doing a beautiful job for him too. The way I know they just sitting back, just like they throwing their fists in the air, like they don't even have to tell them like they don't have to tell nobody else to report this type of stuff. Like, and for Stephen A to try to take up for it, just show you where he trying to get back. He trying to get back good with ESPN, but he actually exposed them. He actually did more. He did worse than he did good of trying to get back in good with ESPN by exposing how LeBron James just be trying to control the narrative of what's been said about him, and I just loved it. I loved it. I know you like when he said that LeBron be just trying to. And Rich Paul just trying to control this narrative that's said about him. He want to be known as this great, as this GOAT, when you can never be looked at as that. Yeah, you go get Kendrick Perkins to say that, but he don't have the power of the word of basketball, like how Stephen A was saying. When Stephen A said he's the number two, I know it bugged him. I know it got to LeBron. I know that he hated hearing Stephen A tell him that he's the number two, which he's not. He's not even number two. But I love that Stephen A exposed his bosses of what they allow to happen, because LeBron just run ESPN for basketball shows.
Oh, of course, because that's the narrative. He's beat them. And that's why I'm like, LeBron, his defeat. I made that video. I don't think it went anywhere because they kind of was blocking it, but he defeated them. He defeated sports media by getting involved in it and playing the ball game, placing his pieces where he wanted them placed, and controlling the narrative of what's reported on him on major network television.
Yeah, one of the biggest networks you can have, and to me, they took their downfall, and now we seeing where they are at now. And ESPN, I mean, if it wasn't for them covering other sports, then if they were just covering basketball, they would be dead in, like at the bottom of sports media to cover basketball. They really are lucky that they cover football and a few other sports, but yeah, I just love the fact that Stephen A exposed his bosses of what they do, and even trying to defend Malika Andrews, it really backfired. I really think it backfired on them, because he exposed what they tell them to do. And I don't even think they even told Stephen A to even try to defend her. I just think he just on there recklessly answering questions that they trying to act like he's so down. And I'm just like, you doing this on a Paul George podcast, acting like you just so real, like he cussing and everything, acting like I laughed at some of the I didn't watch the show. I seen snippets of it, but I laughed because I know what Stephen A is doing. He's basically trying to show how down he is, and he's so real. Like, nah, you not. You just want that. You just trying to create this new Stephen A look, so it can translate to your YouTube views and everything.
Yeah, all he's doing now, he's watching me, Kwame Brown. He want to talk about everything else. Now he's talking about stuff that ain't even sports now. So now he's all been busted out.
Yeah. Yeah, he was commenting on some I forgot who he was commenting on. It was a rapper or somebody. I was like, why is Stephen A talking about this on his show? Why, like like you said, it seemed like he's doing his studying, and he's seeing what you do and what others do. Like, he kind of taking his notes, making his show, because I mean, that's what's popping. I feel like a lot of them is taken from y'all, especially because you've been doing this for a long time, though. So I know now all of a sudden everybody want to try to make that transition to doing their podcasts and getting on YouTube and everything.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. They seeing like, man, that's the ground. If I just talk about sports, man, that's just I do that on ESPN. I need to have another angle. I got to talk about everything on the Stephen A show. So now that's the avenue. He see Kwame Brown talk about everything. Okay, that's the way to do it. And they seeing how Kwame getting this attention. He was like, oh, okay, he getting attention for stuff that he talk about everything, but that's just his everyday walk of life. Now, when you start doing that, Stephen A., and you got all these relationships and that's what I'm saying. Everything he said up there was so much cap and was so much bull. Me and Kwame was sitting here. I wish I had that on tape. I wish the whole world could hear what we were saying in the conversation about it before we even went live. Because me and him talked first before when the Stephen A. thing, he didn't even know about it. He was calling me. When I called him, he was talking about somebody else. I was like, "You saw it, right?" He was like, "Yeah." He was talking about a whole nother video. And then I was like, "Oh, you don't know about it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, you don't know about it. You ain't hear what Stephen A. said." So I played it for him. And he was like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, "I'm getting so mad just listening to it."
Yeah, it was just so fake. The fakeness just comes off so natural for him. Like when me just hearing how he was trying to sound like he's so down, like he just like I was looking at, I seen it on Twitter, but I'm reading the comments and I'm seeing brothers talking about, oh, this the Stephen A. I want to see. I wish they'd let him go off ESPN. So I'm like, that's what he want. That's what I know. He's probably reading these comments like he's going to get himself hyped up, and he's going to probably try to get into that type of thing that Kwame do and what you do and others like, and it's going to get him in trouble where he's going to lose his contract with ESPN because he's saying this. I can see how he's going to, he's going to be different from how he is on TV, of course, but I think he's going to get too hyped up and he's not ready for that type of audience, type of crowd of people on YouTube. It's just different on YouTube because y'all just going off what y'all naturally do. He's been fake as hell for the longest. And it's like, how you going to break out of that shell of you being fake as hell and calling brothers out like Kyrie and KD?
Right.
And, how you going to break out of that shell and be real? You can't be like Kwame Brown. You can't be like that. It's not you. You gonna get yourself fired and then you're going to have to rely on YouTube.
Right, because you've already put your foundation down as what you are.
Yeah.
You're a company man. Like everybody knows you a company man, and that's what a company man gonna do. He gonna toe the line. Somebody come around bigger than him and say, "Hey, what you doing?" He go, "Oh." He gonna back down, especially if they white. Now, if they black can do that, he gonna be, "Oh, how dare you? I'm a boss." Then he want to put his shoulders out and pump his chest. He was like when he said with Allen Iverson, I was like, man, me and Kwame was laughing because I was like, did you hear what this fool just said about Bubba Chuck? Ain't no way in hell he talking about some, I got my gorillas on the line. I heard couldn't go places in Atlanta because he was looking for me. So I got my gorilla. I called up some gorillas and I'm like, yo, where he at? I was watching your live because I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the podcast he did with Paul George. When you did that breakdown, I was rolling. Like he didn't just say that. He didn't say he rolled with some gorillas. Did he say he rolled up on Allen Iverson with some gorillas, or he called up some gorillas? He called up some gorillas and he came and met up with Allen Iverson. Like I called up some gorillas and we was like, okay, yo, where he at?
Man, I can't imagine. I can't imagine that happening. What if that situation would have went bad? Like if this did happen with Allen Iverson, what if Allen Iverson? I can't see it happen. I don't see it happen. But I'm just saying, like, what? Like, I don't. Come on, Stephen A. You as a company man, you know what happened. I don't know how Allen Iverson feel about the situation. Maybe AI don't care to even speak on it. I'm quite sure he probably just didn't see it.
He's okay with it now, but he knows that Stephen A. is gonna be, this the theatric Stephen A. If you get him on the phone, he gonna be, oh man, I was feeling myself. I got. So but he ain't gonna never do that on the air and do the apology. He gonna call you and be like, oh yeah, well. Yeah, I went too far. Like that's why Skip Bayless had to take his head off. He get in front of the camera and start saying stuff that's completely not true. Once I got there, we went number one. Like it was because of him. So Skip Bayless is like, look, I hate to bust your bubble, but we were number one already. We were cold pizza. So
Yeah.
you weren't there. You know what I'm saying? Like I started the first take thing without you. So it was like, dog, we were already number one. You know, you wasn't even working there. Like, dude, I had to call to get you on the show. Like, are you serious? We were number one then. We were
He don't. Yeah, see, no, I don't think he think we remember. Like a lot of us remember when what was that one brother who used to play football that used to be on Cold Pizza? He was bald head, dark skinned brother who was right there when Jalen Rose was when he called Skip Bayless water gun pistol Pete or water gun pistol. It was that one brother who played football. He was bald head. He used to be on there, dark skinned brother.
Jalen Rose and Skip Bayless.
Yeah, when they got into it, it was a brother that was right beside Jalen Rose, but he played football. He used to be on there. I'm gonna probably have to look it up. It was if you look at the footage, if you go back and look at the footage, when Skip Bayless and Jalen Rose was going back and forth the first time before Stephen A. I don't think Stephen A. was even on the show that day. But when they first went at it and Jalen Rose was calling him out about the disrespect of Kwame, when he checked him, and it was a brother, I forgot his name. He was right there with a smirk on his face, like he wanted to bust out laughing, but it was before Jalen Rose called him water gun. Yeah. So Stephen A. like he wasn't even a feature. Of course we already know he wasn't on there every day, but Stephen A. act like he would like Skip had that show going, and Jalen Rose and that other brother who I'm talking about used to go at it with Skip Bayless. I used to love when the brother with the bald head, because he didn't used to play no games. He used to go in there and used to talk about football, but he used to make Skip Bayless stutter, and I used to be laughing. Like I love the fact that Jalen Rose had got on there.
The guy name was Stewart.
Yeah,
Stewart.
they made. Yeah, they made me want to watch that show because at first it wasn't too many brothers on there as much, but when I seen that brother on there and then Jalen Rose was on there, that's what made that show go. Stephen A., of course, he kind of made the show good as well, but Stephen A. had like for him to say that he made that show, that's a complete lie. He didn't make them ratings go up.
Mm-hmm.
What went viral is what made that show be known for us. Because a lot of brothers weren't watching that show. It was people that wasn't even watching that show. I used to just watch all the ESPN shows. Whenever I had a chance to, I would watch those shows. But when that argument went viral of Jalen Rose and Skip Bayless, that's when brothers really started getting hip to that show. Because Skip Bayless wasn't known like that. Nobody really cared because they always felt like I don't even think he was a big time LeBron hater like that. He really wasn't hating on LeBron as much. I forgot who he kind of used to hate on, starting off with Cold Pizza, but he ain't starting off being a LeBron hater until I think LeBron lost his second championship. I think that's when it really started. He kind of got that persona to then become a LeBron hater.
Yeah, I don't know who that brother is with the bald head, but I know who you're talking about. I just don't know him.
He got a twin brother. He got him and his brother both used to be on there. They both used to be on there.
His name Ryan Stewart. That's what the guy was saying. The two Stewarts. He had his own show called The Two Live Stews.
Yeah.
Live Stews.
Yeah.
So
they used to.
Another Stewart.
The other brother. Y'all, they both played football.
Yeah, so that was Ryan Stewart. That used to be on there. You're right. That was Ryan Stewart. Yep. So Ryan Stewart used to be on there. But he would like guest appear on the show. Like he'll be a guest to come in there because he had his own show.
Yep. It was
Michael Bell Jr. Boy, you missed a show today. You're gonna have to take this back to the beginning. He's like,
explosive.
What up? So I'm like, woo.
Explosive, man.
Hey, what's up, T?
Yo, Cino.
What's good?
Man, you tripping, man. You talking about Malika Andrews ain't fine, man. You bugging, man.
Man,
Listen, dog,
I
I'ma
never-
come with the big bottle of hand sanitizer that you get from Walmart. You know what I'm saying, dog? And we gonna have a good ass time, bro. You tweaking.
Yeah, you can get it. It's real easy.
Listen,
Go there,
man.
get
Hey, you should have never told niggas that. See, you know, you gonna have everybody coming up to her with a hand sanitizer trying to get it in and shit, dog. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying, but you got one problem for you, man. You ain't white. If you white,
Right.
Gotta be white, man.
Listen, man, you get it twisted off that hand sanitizer. She ain't gonna know white from green from blue. You don't know what that hand sanitizer do to you, dog.
Like, you can talk to her on the phone and get you a profile. Be like, "Hi, honey. I ain't Malika. Hi, it's Kevin." I was thinking about us to go get a couple of sandwiches or something. Go down the mix. Yeah, extra mayonnaise.
Listen, dog, I can holler at her, man. I just have to duct tape her mouth shut, man. As soon as she start talking, it's over with, dog. It is over with.
Oh no,
I promise you.
She gonna be doing that. She gonna need that mouth for something else. She's promiscuous.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, you get her off that right sanitizer, dog. It ain't gonna matter what color.
Yeah, you see that dude that was talking, you knew he was in the crazy house. You say they ain't put him nowhere. He seemed like he's still there. Yeah. He was sitting there like, do I know Malika Andrews? Hell yeah, I know Malika Andrews, man.
Very well.
Man. Say we was getting it in boarding school, Utah.
Right.
But Cino, what is it that made you go ahead and do this video? You know what I'm saying? We'll push you over the edge because she been tweaking for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is I did this on the Patreon. So the Patreons already know. So I've already informed them and they already told them that this was gonna happen.
Okay, yeah.
She's gonna get Richard Jefferson and her got a problem. So they didn't know nothing about it. Y'all, I never talked about that here. But the Patreon, everybody on the Patreon, they know the Richard Jefferson and her, you know, he wasn't mad at her. He's mad at ESPN at like how, you know, she finna make more money than him. She finna make more money than all of them. I'm like, she finna get a promotion, she finna get a bump. And it ain't even her time to get her. It ain't no contract negotiation or nothing like that. She just finna get promoted. And I'm like, Richard Jefferson ain't gonna like it because she gonna make more money than him. I was like, and this is not gonna go over well with him, but he's not mad at her. He's just mad at the situation because she.
Yeah.
And then it just was announced just a couple of days and everybody was saying, no, you was right on the Patreon. They were like, man, you right. But I was like, I never told the world. I was like, y'all know because y'all on the Patreon, y'all pay for this. So I was like, y'all got this information exclusive. That Malika Andrews was finna, you know, she's the one on LeBron's team, everything. So she's working there. She's with Dave McMenamin, that whole team. So I'm like, none of LeBron people go fired and laid off. None of them.
None of them. Yeah, Kendrick Perkins, none of them, dog. None of them.
Right. It's like, why are they there and everybody else got fired?
Van Gundy out of here. Mark Jackson out of here. You know,
if you ain't say LeBron was the best, you out of here.
Some of the best analysts gone.
I bet you ESPN underpaying for them dudes too. You know what I'm saying? I bet you they're not getting their full value.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Coming in as being former NBA players and coming in and being analysts. You know, even though I don't like them, but you know what I'm saying? Like that should still come with some kind of gravitas. You know what I'm saying? Because of who they were. You know what I'm saying? But I bet you they getting penny.
I was making more than like some of the people that was there per year. I was making more than them. The people that was appearing as guests on the show, I was making more than them. I was making more than them in a week. What they was paying for appearances. They pay. ESPN will pay, like, for certain people. They're getting paid $5,000 an appearance.
For $5,000 an appearance?
For $5,000 for, like, if they come on their show for a day, they get $5,000.
Wow.
Like Steven Jackson's getting $5,000. I swear to God, that's why you think Cam Jackson, man, they don't pay you. You know what I'm saying? They don't pay you nothing on the show because he was getting paid $5,000.
I believe it though. You know they cheap.
So I
You
was
know
like,
they cheap.
every time they appear, like, they was getting paid their money, like 5,000, and that's how much they were paying. Some people getting less. They're getting 2,500 to show up, and they will show up. They'd be like, we're talking to so and so on there. They just happy to be on the TV. They're gonna get $2,500 to be on there. They was like, hey, that's good for my platform. But people like Magic and all them, like, you're gonna have to pay a bigger fee, or unless they, this is something they spend to promote on your channel and they using your platform, they might do it for free.
Yeah, I'm not coming out the house if it's not for $100K if I'm Magic, you know what I'm saying?
Right, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is for certain appearances. But yeah, most of these people were getting, like, 5,000.
They could pay Malika Andrews pennies. That's what I was saying in the chat. Like, she don't have no kind of credentials or gravitas or nothing like that. They could pay her pennies and put her up there and have her do all the cooning she can. You know what I'm saying? For pennies on the dollar. You know what I'm saying? It's way cheaper than paying Stephen A. Smith to do it.
Oh yeah, she the female Stephen A. Like she does all the dirty work that Stephen A. probably wouldn't even like. I don't even see Stephen A. Bringing up Adrian Payne pass. Like I wouldn't see him. Can't see him doing nothing like that. But she would. She don't care. That's why she moved up the ranks quick. She gonna
you get personal with it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, she gonna get personal with she gonna ruin something. She gonna try to ruin the image of somebody. Long as they brown, she gonna ruin something about them. And it's gonna be an image that ESPN gonna love to for people to see. I mean, we already know who they cater to, but it's just crazy to me that woman just would decide to just do that. Out of all people, I mean, I understand like her asking questions about the young brother who got drafted from the Hornets, but it's like, but why speak on a dead man? Man just got killed.
Right.
Like, wow, that was something that you would want to bring up.
The thing is, like it's like Cino said, man, when that whole Chris Paul, we was rooting for her at first when she first got there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, who's a little cute little mixed girl and shit. That's you know what I'm saying? And then like, dog, it was like the Kyrie thing. It was just like one incident. It was like dominoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And dog, she just been horrible, dog. She's been horrible. The absolute worst thing.
Yeah, I mean, she knows she want to move up the ranks, and she like I the breakdown that you did though, Cino, was like it really showed like why she the way she is though. You can tell she has some self-hate, like she a mixed girl, but she don't like that brown side. But it's crazy that she moved up the ranks because her brown side. Like and I don't know how maybe she'll never explain it because it don't seem like she'll ever get to talk about her personal life like that. It'd be something that she people will find out online, but I don't see her doing no real in-depth interview speaking on her past. I don't see it no time soon.
Her daddy blacker than a damn doodle turd. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he blacker than my ties.
And
dark ass nigga. Dark.
Yeah,
darkness.
Black and darkness.
Right. But he brought up a very key point. He brought up the fact that like she was promiscuous. That's why she was dead. Like that's why they brought her there. She was wild. And that's why they was like she was just stressed. She was fighting at home. She that's why she got kicked out in 8th grade. She was old.
Move her away from all that. Y'all
That daddy like, man, I ain't about to be raising no grandbabies.
That's what white people do with the kids they can't control. They
Yep.
like, I can't control them, you know. See, black folks ain't no boarding school. You're gonna get the hell beat out you with a belt, and you're gonna
Yep.
get kicked out the house. Ain't
Oh,
nobody,
yeah, that's all I was about to say.
That's what I'm saying. You gonna end up on the street. Yeah, you gonna end up on the street.
you gonna get beat first, then get thrown out. That's-
Yeah, you'll get your ass whooped. That don't work. Okay, well, you got to go.
Ain't no
Yeah, you gotta go.
no boarding school outside.
Yep.
Sent her ass from she stayed in Oakland and sent her off to Utah. Oh yeah, she had to move a few states over. Yeah, and just got to get busy with that hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Everything was just open. She was open. Legs was open 24/7. The way the guy talking about the way he making it seem.
Right. That's when she was just throwing that cat anywhere. That's what got her there. And they were like, you can't do that in the boarding school, but shoot, at the movie theater, she just attacked him and had the hand sanitizer and everything. Like, just turn up.
I'm gonna go get the big boy from Sam's Club, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the
we go get it
dude
in.
was with his girl. Like, he had a girl. They was best friends. He's like, Casey, you know, that was my girl or whatever. And, you know, we going out in the movies and she coming with us and she's like, all right, let's get turned up. And she bringing up the hand sanitizer, getting going. Because they couldn't have no liquor, you know, at the boarding school. So, you know, hand sanitizer, that's what they had to find to get down.
Yo, I've never heard of anybody doing that other than alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? Like in rehab. Like raging alcoholics in rehab and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when they absolutely can't get to nothing else, they go to the hand sanitizer.
I've never heard of it.
I knew was like violent. You know, like she was violent, having violent episodes at home, and she kept like storming off. And they ain't know what to do with her, but that's why she was trying to be like them white girls, and she was just a little too wild. And she was just promiscuous. She hated like herself, hated the fact she wasn't like them white girls. She started getting anorexic and not eating because she was like wanted to get with a guy, he didn't want her, and he went with another white girl because she felt she wasn't skinny enough, she was too fat.
All right, George.
So she didn't like herself. You know, so a lot of self-hate. Oh, this thing keep falling down. So that's why she kept doing what she doing. So now you see she got no problem attacking black folk.
It's crazy. It's crazy how you break down about her sister. Like where her sister, like you can kind of see like a little bit of animosity she has towards her sister a little bit to bring up that watch. She was just waiting. She was just waiting for her sister to finish what she was saying when she was recording.
That watch and just talk about her sister on national TV.
Like who would do that? I got all kind of brothers. Like why would something's going? Why would you want to embarrass your brother? Like and that wasn't and some people might take it as they're just joking around. She's just playing around. Her sister was thrown off by it. If you look at her sister she smiled, but she was like, "Bitch, why you doing this right now?"
Like why would you do that on national TV? Like. And then when I showed y'all the thing when they did the Q&A, and when they said who was the favorite, and she raised her hand.
Yeah. She had that look on her face too, like little hating ass bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Like she said, she's like, I still got a scar that you gave me. Still got the scar on my head that you put on my head.
Yeah, I would like to just put out the disclaimer, man. All mixed kids ain't messed up in the head like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, not all of them.
Like I got a niece and a nephew, man, little niece and nephew. You know what I'm saying? But see, like my brother, man, he been in the house and shit, man. He raised them. You know what I'm saying? So like they ain't all screwed up in the head like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not all of them, but a lot of them have to go through like hell, like because
on
where they at because normally we don't care. But the majority of them that's mixed like that, they go to predominantly all white schools and they get hell. Like they face a whole lot of racist stuff. They be like, man, I'm like,
but like you say, it depends on, because you know what I'm saying, black kids can be mean too like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Be calling
Yeah,
them Oreos and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Too not black enough to be in the hood, but not white enough to be in the suburbs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I have, I have three nieces, three mixed nieces, and a nephew who's mixed, and I understand. Like, and my brother, you know, his wife is white and everything, and if you don't, I feel like if they don't come up. If they don't come up where they have the mother the white mother who can tell them, you know, embrace both sides. If they don't have that type of mother, then they're going to go through that. You know, it comes like not just the
Yep.
father, it got to be the mother who's white or the father who's white. They had to tell them to embrace it and not make them feel like, yeah, it's going to be okay. Like, no, like literally from when they able to talk, you got to be able to tell them to embrace both sides.
Yep.
It comes down to that white parent got to be able to do it, or they go have self-hate. And I don't know if Malika Andrews' mother didn't teach her to just embrace both sides. Like it's beautiful to be both. It kind of seemed like her mother just kind of was like just trying to pacify the situation, and it just got worse because she wanted to be like her mother.
yep, that is true, and that's why I'm saying right there when the mom wrote the book, mom wrote a book about it,
About raising mixed kids.
about Malika Andrews. Her mama wrote a.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you weren't here in the beginning.
yeah. No, I didn't see that. No, I
Mama-
didn't hear that.
yeah, her mama told her since she was in kindergarten, she was mad that she ain't look like her mama. She was like, my
Wow.
skin be like yours. She was like, no. She's like, will my skin ever turn out to be like your skin? Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
she had to write a book about it, you know? So when you start to see that unfold, you go, damn, that's deeper than what I ever imagined.
yeah.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's definitely deeply rooted of self-hate, you know. But you got to blame. I like I said, you got to blame that the white side, the mother, and then the father. I mean, what was he doing as well? Like, was he in the household? Like, because when being born mixed, like you go through both sides of hate from little kids, from the white side and the brown side. So it's going to happen, but you got to be able to teach them that self-love. It's like it's doing overtime because one, it wasn't supposed to happen like that anyway. When you mix two different cultures like that, it's gonna be hard. Like, you know, going to birthdays. When my niece first had my older niece had her birthday, man, it was just crazy because my brother's his wife, you know, her family is on one side, we on the other side, we out at the park, y'all. It was just weird as fuck. Like, we got our music playing and they on the other side with, you know, it wasn't we all together. You wouldn't even thought it was a actual birthday party for a 3-year-old, you know what I'm saying? So it's going that when you mix, you got to prepare for the worst, especially raising your kids to be, you know, and they mix and you send them to an all more majority white school. Like, you got to watch for that type of stuff because they going to come home and they not going to really show it, but they going to have so much hate in their heart for probably being brown and not being white because they getting teased and everything, treated so differently, all because of what they ain't asked to be born mixed. But it seemed like with Malika Andrews, she developed that hate for her brown side, and it's like, you know, she taking out on brothers that's in the NBA, and that shit, to me, the ESPN do a horrible job of just trying to, you know, if you go diversify and have different types of races on your show, like have some color. Don't try to push this agenda like what you think, trying to make us believe that Malika Andrews is proud to be brown. Like, she don't. You can, I mean, it's
But you
showing.
know, they use her to push the white man's narrative, man. Because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. You can't talk the same way. You know, like Skip Bayless can't go down and tear somebody down like that. You know what I'm saying? Without somebody having some repercussions against them. You know what I'm saying? But Malika, she's perfect for it. You know what I'm saying? And she, you
Yeah.
know, because of her background, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's easily manipulated into doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? She probably don't even see it that way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because she's so screwed up in the head. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe she can be manipulated. I truly believe she don't mind, as long as she get where she going. She don't mind because I mean, it's a win-win for her. She able to be able to move up the rankings, and she covering a sport that she didn't even play. Like that is crazy. That like for somebody to get that type of opportunity to talk about basketball and cover basketball and be a host and didn't even play it. Didn't even cover it. But I mean, it's easy to
And like you
follow.
say, she about to be making more than the NBA players did. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
Richard Jefferson do a great job of breaking down the X's and O's, and JJ Redick and all. I'm like how is she moving up the ranks? Like Maria Taylor should have been paid. Like to me, I don't
Bro,
understand it. But
we all know it's out of bounds, bro. Jalen Rose got fired and Kendrick Perkins still got a job, bro. Add it up. Come
It
on,
don't
bro.
make sense. Kendrick
Add
Perkins
it up.
barely know the English language, but he on there. But Jalen
Right.
Rose
Add
gone.
it
You
up.
know
Come on, bro.
man,
what I'm
Moses,
saying? Moody.
Exactly. Add it up. Come on, man. We all know how to add, subtract, and multiply and divide. Come on, man. Add this up.
Yeah, the
We all know.
ABCs is clutch sports. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we all know the but yeah, we all know the play, bro.
That's the math on it. That's the
We
math
all
on
know
it.
the play,
Yeah,
bro. Like
man.
they running the same playbook as the Carolina Panthers, them sticky note plays. That's what they
Oh,
run.
Maria Taylor, she's gonna have another baby, but she got a big contract. She got the Olympics. She got all that. She got NBC Sports.
I
So
want all these light
yeah,
skinned dudes
That's
throwing
dope.
basketball.
That's
they
dope.
got a deal with like she with Paramount and
Yeah, shout out to Maria Taylor, man.
yeah,
Like,
she got
yeah.
a
That's what I'm
she
saying.
did a thing.
How
I
is it
love
even
that.
still
Man,
black folks over on ESPN? It just doesn't make any sense, dog. Like ESPN is just the
That's why
cooniest
ESPN
network
is
ever,
nothing.
dog.
That's exactly
yeah,
why they get nerfed, bro. Like everybody see it. It ain't just because of YouTube, because everybody know they out of bounds with all the plays that they try to form up, bro. Like we all know the agenda before they even tell it. They try to put out that whole Joel to Philly garbage.
yeah, it's a wrap.
Everybody know that. Everybody know this garbage. That y'all trying to print something. Y'all know it ain't there. Cause ain't nobody talking to y'all. Ain't nobody talking to Stephen A.
Ain't
Now Stephen A.
nobody talking.
Now Stephen A. trying to maneuver on over here, man. We all know he a buster, but it ain't his fault, man. He come from a long line of busters because he raised by women. That's
Yep.
what it is.
I don't see Stephen A. being able to survive on the internet. I mean, I guess
At
he
all.
will because he has
At
a
all.
platform, but man, it's gonna be some coons over there, dad. This is gonna be a bag full of coons over there, dad.
Oh yeah. You already know this, man. Like the internet waiting for him to pull one of them moves like, hey, bro, we know you. We gonna get we listen. We gonna put you out, bro. Like, look, he gonna be the first famous person to get bullied off the internet. I believe it, bro. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen, bro. Like, watch, man. Like, Karceno's just gonna look at it, bro. He gonna post a video one day, bro. I'm gonna just be like, yo, Cino, you seen it? He's like, yeah, I seen it. Yeah, I was right there.
the best,
I see it all.
the best moment on YouTube go be when Stephen A. call out Karceno,
Oh
and
yeah,
he
I'm
want
ready
to
for
do a
that.
debate, and
I'm
he want
ready
to
for
do a
that.
debate.
He don't want that smoke.
I'm ready for that.
He don't want that smoke,
I'm ready.
dad.
I'm ready for that. I don't
Y'all
think they.
think
I
y'all
don't.
think
I don't
I'm
think
Stephen
they.
A.
sure
gonna
he
call
already
Ceno
knows
out, bro?
Cino.
I don't
I'm
think he's
sure he
stupid. I don't think.
already
I
knows
don't think
Cino.
he's
He don't want
stupid
that
enough,
smoke.
bro. Like, but listen. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Hey,
I
y'all,
want to be right here. That shit is gonna be must see TV, bro. Like, oh
it
man.
definitely is. It's go. Oh yeah,
Oh,
but
I
I
can't
think
wait.
one day
Cino done roasted Stephen A. already like a billion times. Dad done roasted this nigga, dad. He don't want that, dad.
Yeah, already
No, but I'm
over here.
saying
I know he see it. I know
he
he
might
do.
I know
he
he
might
see
invite
it.
Cino to his show and then be muting him as he talking when he making his points where he
Right.
can win. It's a chance he can
I
get.
know. The video with Gil had me crying earlier, bro. I was like
Yeah,
the first 5 minutes of it. I'm like, yo,
man,
he
that
trying to
smirk
tell him
that.
about traffic. Yo, Gil is just like going around in circles, bro. I'm like, oh my god, why is he? Yo, I feel like this is just too much. This is what the internet is about, bro. I'm telling you.
People
Gilbert
was like, man,
got
why
off
you
that
embarrassed
live
that
quick
man?
as hell.
They're like, why you do that to that man?
I
I'm
was a
like,
kid.
oh man,
They
but
be like, you said that to him in his face. I'm like, what
exactly. I don't
am I
know,
supposed
yo.
to say to him?
I don't know why people keep hitting up my line, man. Screw James Harden, bro. Like, don't nobody care about what he going through, bro.
really
Man,
don't.
I'm
We
You don't
telling
really
know
you.
don't.
James Harden, bro.
We
How many times did he help out Daryl Morey all these years, bro? What did he ever do for Daryl Morey? Daryl Morey did all the stuff for him, bro. What
but
did he ever do
that's
for him?
Maury's fault, dog. That's Mr. Titties
It
over
is
titles,
Maury's fault,
dog. It's Maury's
but
fault.
Maury's job was on the line. He
Now
knew,
remember I
like,
showed y'all. Remember I told you how they bringing the sister along quick. You know, when they got Malika Andrews, they start promoting the sister and they trying to do the sister thing.
oh
And when
yeah,
she embarrassed her with the watch,
oh god,
right? Remember when she threw the
Yeah.
thing out there with the watch all petty?
yeah,
So they already knew they had to correct that.
yeah, they did.
Before we
They
let you
def-
go, Kendra, it was your birthday a couple of days ago, so I wanted to clear something up because I know there's been a lot made of the watch.
Clear something up.
Don't worry, I got you one. It has the Little Mermaid.
Oh, she out of bounds for that.
And Belle, my favorite. So it's really nice.
There's a bunch of princesses.
See,
My daughter is gonna watch this watch.
we're all taken care of, and now I can go back to the way God intended me.
She out of bounds for that.
Just kidding, I just kind of
This is my watch. This is your watch.
see.
She out of bounds. She out of bounds for that. She out of bounds.
That was
for that.
cringeworthy,
That
man.
Don't
That was
give on Mickey
cringeworthy,
Mouse
man.
watch and take the watch back. I was like, boy, that's something
That was
dirty.
way out of bounds, man. Like
Under the bus, dog.
as soon as I go off, as soon as we go off camera, man, that's a fight, bro. Like, yeah, nah, hell no. Get out of here. I'm like, man, no. I borrowed your watch. I borrowed your watch. I borrowed your watch because you a salamander. That's why. Like, that's why, man. Like, I borrowed your watch because I could. We related.
Yeah, and our sister's like, this is not your watch. They still had a argument over that. Like, wait a minute.
Is that my watch? I'm like, no, it ain't. It's mine. I'm wearing it. Talking about. That's my watch. Malika Andrews, man, like, it's kind of crazy, man. Like, man, Clutch Sports be getting people with these mental illnesses, bro. Like, I don't know what
she
this is
kept
about.
bringing up. That's what I'm saying. She kept bringing up the watch. Like, watch. She did this consistently.
Hold on.
Like this girl clearly has had problems, bro.
Zach up, baby. Put the Gonzaga hat on. I will be wearing this hat all day, every day for the rest of the month. I'm sending
Her
it.
sister is gorgeous.
I said I expect all of you guys to be
She
wearing
pretty. Yeah, she pretty.
Yeah, her sister's gorgeous.
I texted you. I ran several laps around my apartment last night after that shot went in. I was yelling. I was jumping. I almost apologized to my neighbors this morning for making so much noise.
She the baby, right?
Everyone needed to bask in that shot and that performance.
Yeah, I
Also,
think she the oldest. She the youngest.
She's the youngest. Yeah.
I 100% agree. And when you said I'm sweating, that's what I felt you. That's when I was like, yeah, I'm sitting over here like it was way too close to me. The Zags were actually the first team.
Man, listen.
The Golden State Warriors. They have a pivotal game, a big one tonight. I want to bring in our reporter covering the 76ers, Tim Bontemps. Tim, I want to go over a couple of injuries here.
Look, hey, Cino, we're gonna say a prayer for Dave McMiniman, or whatever his name is. that's who we're gonna say a prayer for. Cause like, hey, bro, he gonna have his hands full with her, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Because that's their other priority.
We're gonna say a prayer for what's his name? David McMiniman.
Dave McMiniman.
Yeah.
All right.
Over the next 8 games. It's a big one.
Yeah, I didn't know he was part of Clutch Sports too.
Yeah, he was part of Clutch Sports, man. Him and whatchamacallit, they together, they engaged.
Everyone, it's Gonzaga.
They got LeBron got that family package there.
Look at what she say at the end. She said, "You can keep my watch if you get me a hat."
Successful. Hey, Kendra, Tim, go Zags. And everyone, it's Gonzaga. Go Zags. Not Gonzaga. Kendra, you can keep my watch if you give me one of those hats.
That girl, man.
You can keep my watch. She keep bringing up the watch. That's what they were like, man. This is low down.
That girl there, man. Like
And they think that's kind of good for TV when it's really not. It's like
really not.
Like,
bro.
damn, is it personal between y'all?
Every time she say watch, she lowering ESPN ratings as they speak. Every single time, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, ESPN is in the dump, man. They had to hide 5 people for that was over there for over 20 years. man, it like, and now because they realize the agendas. Everybody that's watching realize the agendas that's going on. Everybody
Yep.
Yeah.
ain't stupid.
And
That's what it is.
they gave her an award. They gave her an Emmy.
They gave her an award for what?
She got an Emmy.
She got an Emmy.
She got an Emmy.
Talking about that's why she did it. She got nominated for an Emmy because of what she did tearing down black folks. They gave her an Emmy.
She got
This
an
year,
Emmy.
attaboy.
She got an Emmy because she only one of 10 employees at the damn station. That's why. Come on. And she ain't get no Emmy because of that. Like, she got an Emmy because she one of 10 people at the damn station. FS1 is doing numbers, man. But like now, ESPN don't nobody pay attention to
coverage
ESPN.
of tearing down Ime Udoka and the way you tore down the assistant coach. Oh my God! And the way you talked about a dead man. Oh, give her an Emmy.
Yep.
Give her the Emmy.
Yep, definitely, man.
If you do this, you're gonna get an Emmy for your performance.
And how she did old boy from Alabama.
Yeah, she
right. Brandon Miller, yeah.
Right, she's trying to get 2 Emmys now.
Yeah. She's trying to get a number of Emmys, man. Like, let these
Yeah,
dudes
she's
keep.
trying to
Let
get
these
her
dudes
Emmys.
keep
Back
getting.
to back. You got an Emmy.
With my other half Jewish brethren.
She ain't no Oreo Becky, bro. Like, she's a 25% Oreo Becky. You gotta put a percentage in there, bro. Like, see, this is why I wear this Infinity Gauntlet. These light skinned dudes, man, they all need to be extinct, bro. Like, see why I wear it? They all need to go, bro. When you see one of them and they problematic, Karceno, you call me. We're gonna get rid of them. Cino, you out of line, bro. Why you?
Listen, she that was well overdue. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, Cino got too much time with his head.
That's the frame.
He got too much time with it. He framed it. Oh man.
Yeah, I see that every day.
You got to get rid of it. Like, you got to get rid of that, bro. Like, got to get that to go.
This Emmy for most outstanding personality.
Basket case really got an Emmy, bro. Like, yo, what?
Outstanding personality and emerging on-air talent.
They give an Emmy for that.
They just made
boy.
They just made.
Yeah, right. Made a category to get to her.
They just made something up, man. That's
the Emmy for most outstanding mixed person.
Right. that hangs black people out the window. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even putting her in the mixed column, bro. Like, listen, she is what's that person? She Candace Owens, bro. That's who she is, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's who she is.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Candace Owens is worse than her. That's the crazy thing. I do. Candace Owens, man, she known for doing the dance in the buck a lot of times, but listen, I don't think she worse than this individual.
Yeah, like I said, she the female Stephen A.
I wouldn't even call her that, bro. Like,
she stooped to that level. She stooped to that level that like those white execs at ESPN just love. They love her. You can tell. They look how fast she'll move up the ranks. Like she like probably quicker than Michelle Beadle and all them. Like
but it wasn't no ranks to move up because everybody got fired.
Yeah.
It wasn't no ranks to move up, bro. Everybody got fired, bro. Like they kept all of LeBron's agenda based people. That's what it was. It wasn't no rank to climb up. If it was real employees, real workers, real people that talk sports there, she not getting that. She wasn't getting that first year or the year when they had all the employees. She got that when all of these dudes got fired. That's why.
Yeah.
When everybody move out the way, then you can get your awards. It's the same like LeBron. They want everybody to be handcuffed. They want everybody to be handcuffed, tied hands behind their back, so LeBron can play ball. Same thing Karceno said.
I
He
can
was like
basically say
that way.
that
Yo,
the
look, their
one
hands
piece
are
of
tied behind
video
their
that
back.
we'll need to take a look at.
You did that, so everybody be like, "Yo, that man, they can't stop him." But look, his hands behind his back, bro. It does sound like another
Yeah,
problem. Let's go, bro. Then they talk, bro. Then they talk like that, bro. Like it's hard to even take them seriously. These the same people. All they
man.
want, they want them to get in there and talk good about clutch clients and LeBron puff pieces, and then when LeBron go, and then when the upstairs get tired of them because they ain't making no money no more, and they realize Disney is losing too much, man. Talking about LeBron and everybody getting tired of them, then they got to move on to something else.
Yeah.
But this is why I
Yeah,
don't watch.
when the bubble started, you can tell like many people. I was one of them that didn't care about that bubble tournament. I didn't even care. But when he won, but to see how he won and the teams he beat, like, and then LeBron didn't even have a great NBA Finals. That little bubbles
That's
finals,
because he
it
didn't
wasn't
beat
even.
anybody, bro. It was all scripted. It's an
Dog, they
NIT
played
tournament.
a
That's what it
half a
was.
season, if that, and then went straight to the
It wasn't
playoffs.
even a tournament. It was an invitational, bro. Like it was 8 teams sitting at home. Come on,
One of
bro.
the
Like
worst.
it was an NIT invitational. That's what it was, bro. We don't acknowledge that. And then when you talk to other, that's why I don't even get in crazy spaces no more where they all
No
LeBron heavy.
fans, no pressure. Look,
No nothing.
No pressure, right?
with no pressure, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dudes that
the
can do
first
a
group
lot.
of
You
fans
know what
that
I'm
he
saying?
got up in there, bro. He got a somebody girlfriend kicked out and everything. Then he got some white people kicked out
Oh,
of
I
the
forgot
Pacers
about
game.
that. No,
Yeah, yeah.
he got
Remember that?
somebody kicked out, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He
got a
got some
player
girl.
kicked out,
Yeah, no. He got a
or
fan
he
kicked out.
snitched on him or something like that.
Yeah, he got a fan
Yeah.
kicked out. Yeah. He got a fan kicked out. It was a woman, like
No, it
she
was a
was.
player, dog. What
No,
he
it was a
snitched on
woman. It was a white
somebody.
girl. It was a white girl. It was some white girl. She got kicked out, and
Oh, she told him Bronny can die in a car crash or
no,
some
no, no, no,
crazy.
no, no, no. I'm not talking about the Pacers one. I'm talking about the other one. The other one with they was just getting after the bubble, where they was just getting back in the, like the buildings, but the buildings was empty. Like
Oh,
it was like few people could
yeah.
come
Okay,
in or
now I
something
know. I
like
thought
that.
you was talking about in the bubble, but
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
okay. Yeah,
yeah. Remember that? Like Karceno, no, I'm
yeah.
talking about. It was like some hand me down. It was like some hand me down white girl that got kicked out, man. Like she thought she was like she thought she was a superstar, but she really wasn't. But she got kicked out anyway, man, because LeBron is basically a snitch, So you know how that is.
Yeah, he ain't kicked me out. I got a warning.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
you got the card. You got
I
the
remember that.
they
He
gave
went to
Cino
that
the
Bulls
card.
game. Yeah. He went to that Bulls game. Casino. Well, I found it weird because Casino he don't even like the Bulls. He went to that game. I'm like, yo, bro.
Yeah, just to troll him.
Just to troll
Troll
LeBron,
LeBron
bro.
is hilarious.
I remember the girl that came up in here that night, bro. Like when afterwards, she was like, "Did you get what you wanted?" He was like, "Yeah, I did get what I wanted to do. What are you talking about? I did. I
I
did do
told
what I
him
wanted
on
to do."
live, like, yeah. Now you get to hear it for real.
I remember Cino was walking through the tunnel and everything, bro. He started the video. He's like, "Yeah, we about to pull up on Braun right now. About to
Yeah,
pull up on
and
Braun right now. Hold
my
on,
seat was
I got
perfect.
seats.
My
I got
seats
seats. He
were
talking to
right
other fans.
side
He's like,
of
"Yo,
me.
this dude is a bum, bro. Like he's
I'm
Sean
sitting
Kemp."
on the Lakers side where the family members of the players and everything.
Right. Yeah, he
I'm
was.
over
You
Yeah,
sure
there.
but
was.
didn't one of them get mad? She get mad at you. She was like, "No, this
Oh,
you shut
Vincent.
Yeah,
up."
she got mad. She got mad. I ain't gonna lie, bro. When you tell people LeBron overrated, bro, like it's almost like a meteor hit Earth, bro. Like they like totally oblivious to it. What are you talking about? How can he beat him? Like, yo, bro, just why if you watch and pay attention, bro, like we have, you'll understand why. Everybody from the 2010s is overrated. I'm about to do a video on it. I still got a video pending to do on it. Everybody from the 2010s is overrated. All of them. Him, Steph, KD, all of them. You know
Oh
why, bro?
man.
Because they didn't officiate them correctly. That's what
Yeah.
it was. They moved. They swallowed the whistle just to sell them. Isaiah Thomas, your man's Isaiah Thomas said it. He's like, yo, they moved everything out the way. They said, so Curry could shoot the same way. They moved everything out the way so Jordan could dunk.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. But the thing is, Jordan already had talent. He already
Yeah,
had
dog. Can
the
you
skill
imagine
set and everything.
Yeah.
They just move certain stuff out of the way so these dudes could win and they
Can
could
you
get the
imagine
glory.
Isaiah Thomas running up and down the court these days?
With nobody checking him and nobody being able to draw contact on him and no physical defense and no
That's what I'm
defense
saying. No hand
pushback.
checking, nothing. That
Could
he
you
would
imagine
average
that,
like
bro?
40 points a game. He'd
We
average
be
40
mad
points
at
a
I
game.
think about 30 and
we be
15.
mad
Zeke could probably
we
put
be
up 30
mad
and
as hell
15.
at Isaiah Thomas, bro. Like, yo, bro, you bragging, bro. Look what era
Easy.
you playing in. Everybody from that decade done messed up the game. James Harden, they let him travel. Then he shoot the 30-something points a game. That's what happened. Can't do nothing in the playoffs. Then they passed it. He back down to 20 points. He could barely crack that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, everybody know what's going on, bro. They
You know
just
why,
allowed
right?
certain
You
stuff.
know why?
Yeah, I know why.
They took away them bullshit. They took away them bullshit foul calls.
Yeah, they took away them foul calls.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got transition fouls. So now LeBron is older, bro. Now they got transition fouls, and now they're gonna get rid of that, man. Like they gonna take away all the old rules once LeBron go. Cause that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting for LeBron to leave so we could get back to East versus West. We could get rid of these tournaments.
Right.
It's only gonna get worse.
Exactly.
But listen, it's only gonna get worse, Dad. You seen what they about to do for this kid, Webb and Yama and shit, Dad. They didn't already.
Nah.
All he got to do is go out there and hit the shots and shit, man. They didn't already set it up for him and shit.
Yeah, they done install a Magna Ball in Oracle Arena, bro. I watched Steph, bro, shoot some out of pocket stuff that he was not shooting on the road. His percentage on the road and his percentage at home is night and day. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
Just look it up.
I want Brandon Miller to become like the biggest star in the league.
I do too. I kind of do too.
Yeah, because I when she gonna have to sit down ESPN like that, she gonna be like, I first of all want to apologize to you. I'll be like, why? Because
so I first of all want to apologize to you.
He needs to do it like Chris Paul.
Adrian Payne. Adrian Payne family, they was livid at Malika Andrews and said to us,
I know you ain't say Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul, that we all know he's LeBron little man. He's a little rat bastard.
Nah, but we was talking about remember when he gave her that look and brushed her off when she tried to get that interview in the finals a couple
I remember
years
that.
ago.
I remember
that.
You
know what I'm saying?
Because Chris Paul think he's some type of boss, bro. Like he got like he LeBron little man.
Just dissed him again. She dissed him again. I don't know if you was here. We showed that. When when Chris Paul was on there after the trade, they showing highlights of Chris Paul getting busted up by Steph Curry when we making him slip and fall. And Chris Paul on there and show that.
That's crazy. I personally enjoyed those moments, but okay, you know.
I personally enjoyed it. That's another weak ass individual I could do without, bro. Like
now you get to play with him, and then you gonna show that. That's like if you got Ty Lue on the show and you showing Allen Iverson step over, he gonna get not running that clip.
You can't run that clip. You can't run that clip, bro.
Like this can't be stopped.
You can't run that clip. That's what it is, bro. And
they're gonna be like, man, you can't run that. Not when I'm here.
Run that clip on. Then you run that clip on Chris Paul, bro. Like he gonna use his range. Then he gonna get mad. That's the thing about Chris Paul, man. Everybody know he's short and dirty. Everybody know that. Yep, shorty dirty. Yep, yeah, that's him. Everybody know he's
only one who ever. Oh no, that wasn't him. Oh shit.
Everybody know he a little rat, bro. Like, come on, running around telling on people all the time.
Yeah, he was the president of the Players Union, so for years he finally gave it up when they was like, "Look, man, you gotta go."
Yeah, they said that, and then
Boogie Cousins hated him.
Then he tried to hit LeBron up, and LeBron couldn't help him, man.
Because he was Boogie can't stand him. That's right. He helped keep Boogie out the league.
Yeah,
CJ got in there. CJ just as worse. That's what I'm saying. They gonna pick the right person to be in there.
Yep.
That's what they
gonna put nobody in there that they can't control.
They're gonna pick some. They're gonna pick some. They're gonna pick some token license.
The vice president is always the real one. That's why Jaylen Brown is the vice president. He the real guy. And I'm like, man,
Was Kyrie once a VP though? Wasn't he part of it?
Yeah, he was on
In
the
2020?
Yeah, I think Kyrie was on a VP address or something like that, man.
Yeah.
I don't remember his
Yeah,
title.
in 2020, right?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he gave it up.
Then he definitely gave it up.
And
But,
Jaylen Brown took over. And that's why when the Kyrie situation happened, they were like,
I
wait
don't
a minute.
trust Jaylen Brown neither, bro.
I trust him.
He the only one who he the only one who stepped up for Kyrie. He's the only one.
He is the only one that stepped up for Kyrie. I
Yeah.
just don't trust him because he one of two Scottie Pippens, bro, on one team, bro. I don't believe it.
Yeah, now he the highest
Like
paid player.
that was the first thing I was saying.
I'm like, bro, how you about to pay another Scottie Pippen, bro? Like, and he just as bad as him.
But no, what he say? I'm gonna use my money. He's like, I'm gonna use my money to empower the hood. That's what he said. I'm finna take my money back to the hood. I was like, I ain't never heard nobody say.
I ain't never heard
He
nobody
sounded
say
like
that.
Isaiah. He sounded like Zeke when he said. I was like, that's something Zeke would have said.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. He different. That's all I'm like. That's what Jaylen Brown.
That's what JB said. Yeah.
Power the neighborhood. He's like, I'm finna use my finances differently. He ain't finna move like everybody else.
Yeah,
That's gonna cause a lot of problems because doing that.
You breaking up, my G.
But when the whole Kyrie.
Yeah, I was proud to hear him say that. I mean, I'm not in agreement of him getting that much because I feel like a second option player shouldn't be the highest paid player, but teach his own.
Yeah, he dead set on that. He said he finna turn Boston around. Like, I'm like, you finna try to fix a racist area?
I thought he was talking about where he from, because he from California. I forgot what part.
I thought that's what he was talking about. I thought they was
He
talking
said
about
Boston.
He
said
talking
Boston?
about the community in both areas.
No, he ain't gonna change
No, he
that.
talking about it's two races out there, and he want to fix
It's
all
gonna
of
stay
that.
like that too, bro.
He
I've been to Boston, bro. I live in Brooklyn. I've been to Boston with a Yankee fitted on, bro.
Yeah, he think he finna change that culture. He finna use his money to try to change. And I'm like, ooh, this finna go left. But
I praise him for trying, but then again, I'm like, bro, listen, you got to know when to be smart and not be foolish, bro. Like, you listen.
Yeah, you never supposed to give your plan up anyway, and just like to me, I don't think it's possible of happening. But he shouldn't have said that out in public.
I don't think he should have said that out loud. Yeah, because once you give your plan up around people that don't really approve of you, bro, like now they get an opportunity to plan against you.
Yeah, he already been getting hated on by the media in Boston anyway. Ever since he stood up for Kyrie, which they hate. You know, the Boston media hate Kyrie. When he stood up for Kyrie, you start seeing all type of things being said about Jaylen Brown.
Well, all right. So you founded the Juice Foundation, right? It's really meant to provide opportunities for those underserved youth and Black and Brown communities in particular. Give us more of a sense of your mission.
It's centered around leadership and activism, but also mental health and wellness, and also sustainability and environmental health as well. Just trying to take those three pillars and trying to put some positive energy back into the community. I got a sense of community. I'm all about community. So Juice is just energy, and that's what it stands for, the Juice Foundation.
And I was just curious, in particular, you have the 5-day program for high school students in the Boston area that partners with MIT. What kind of programs does that focus on?
Yes, Bridge. This is our third year Bridge. The first year was virtual because of COVID. Last year was in Berkeley. This year, I'm excited to announce that we collaborated with MIT and the Media Lab to be the host of the Bridge program. It's basically like a summer camp without basketball. It's centered around science, technology, engineering, and math, but also leadership, activism, art, culture, et cetera. Just trying to give, students that come from disadvantaged communities the resources that they properly deserve.
You have a quote on your website that I think is so profound and powerful. And I just want to read the quote here. You say, the kids who have contributions to make but are stumped by lack of opportunity, I'll forever fight for those kids because I am one of them. What were some of the outlets that you had growing up outside of basketball?
I was able to have a great sense of mentors and community centers that I kind of relied on, but depending on where your zip code is can determine your future and your social mobility in this country. You know, that's the ideal American education system. So being able to provide resources for kids who get forgotten about because, you know, those resources aren't allocated to those areas in those neighborhoods is something that I became passionate about.